Today we'll discuss about the kernel upgrade, upgrading the operating system kernel from one patch level to another patch level here, right? What we are going to discuss now, kernel upgrade, updating the patch level from one patch level to another patch level here. So what is kernel? Kernel is the OS level libraries. Kernels are the OS level libraries to kernel are the OS level libraries. So for the SAP systems here, it will act as a intermediate between operating system and operating system and your SAP application server here. Operating system and SAP application server here, right? So this kernel will play the very important role. Kernel will play the very important role. So, how many, there are the three locations the kernels are exist, means exe folders are exist. Anyone knows what are the kernel locations in SAP system? It's a core component. Kernel is a Kernel is a core component in SAP system here, right? It's a core component of SAP system that is responsible for managing the interaction between the SAP application, database, and operating system level here, right? That is the main here, the kernels, right? Interactions, memory, process, security, database interactions, right? It's executable files. These all are the executable files here, right? So it's a core component for the SAP system here. During the installation time, so we have done the installation of the kernels and everything. But now, after the installation till now, there's a lot of gap, lot of days happened. But so every day there's a new features and new enhancements, new bug fixes happened that will be fixed. So to fix this one, so we need to update the kernels as well. OS level libraries also we have to fix, check it out here. So there are the three locations the kernel files are exist here: USR, SAP, SAD, then sysexe, right? Sysexe. The second one is the USR, SAP, SAD, then the instance number exe. The third one is called the USR, SAP, SAD, then ASCS instance number exe, right? They are the three locations operating system level. These are available. So we discussed about these file systems as well here, but no one is telling about these file systems here. So tomorrow we are going to have a full day assessment, like full assessment here. So everybody, so you have to, yeah, I will give you the some of the questions topic wise. You need to explain the questions or the topic you need to pick up. You have to explain it here. That is the assessment for tomorrow. Okay. So yeah, that is the one. So kernel is a core component here. There are the three locations or kernels are exist here. So to check the kernels, to check the kernel version here. So normally we can follow the two ways here. One is the to check the kernel, you can use the operating system level this plus work. Then otherwise go to log into the SAP level SM51 transaction code, go to the release info, you will get the kernel here, kernel information here, right? So you can go to the OS level. So OS level, suppose like I'm in the, so this is the one of the S4 HANA system here, right? So just you can use the displace work. Then it will tell you the versions of the kernel here, right? It says 793 and the patch level is the 101, right? 793 and 101 here. Then if you log into the SAP level here, then if you go to the SM51 transaction code, there also we can check the, there also we can check the release notes, then we can check the kernel information. Here also we can check the kernel information here. You can see 793 and 101. 793 and 101 here, right? You got the kernel 793, 101 also you got it here, right? You got the kernel version here, right? So then, what is the latest available here? What is the latest available here? right? That we have to check it out here. Why? Because to update in the kernel, there are some bugs will be fixed, some new enhancements, some performance improvements will happen in the SAP systems here. So that's why every 3 months once or every 6 months once we need to update the system kernels. At least 6 months once we have to update the kernels, kernel update or kernel patch level or at least kernel upgrade. So we have to perform it here, right? That is the kernel patching, kernel upgrade, kernel release upgrade. All the procedures are same procedures. We have to follow it here. The first thing is we need to check the current kernel here, right? That is the first point here. Then if we draft the steps with here, if we draft the steps here, the first to perform the kernel upgrade here, what we have to do, the first thing is like, so first check the current kernel version. That we know how to check it out using the two ways. This is one of the interview point of time question here, how to check the current kernel versions here, right? SAP level and operating system level to check the current kernel version, right? then then align the, then you need to align with the management, align with the target kernel, from which version to which version you want to go, that you need to check it out here. Why? Because the target kernel, the new kernel always depend on the operating systems and your SAP basis version. So then in that case, review the one point we can read it, review the kernel, the new kernel release info note. Review the kernel release info note. We have to review it here. That is the main thing here. Align the target kernel version, review the kernel release info note. We have to read it. So then, so downtime. Why? Because kernel upgrade, there is a downtime activity involved. Downtime means SAP system should be stopped status here. We have to stop the SAP system here. So in that case, take the downtime approval when we have to do. So there is a downtime. Downtime means, so we are going to stop the SAP system. System is not available for the users, that we will call it as the downtime. So in that case, you need to do the, so uh, kernel upgrade, actual upgrade activities in the off business hours. When we don't have the business, that time we have to do that one here. So then review the kernel release no info note and align the target kernel version. So then, so download the latest kernel which you want to download, latest kernel, and move to application server level, app server level, move to application server level. Just you can move the kernels to the application server level here, right? Just you can move to the application server level and keep extract it. You need to do the extract it using, what is the command? SAP car command. Using the SAP car command, we need to extract the kernels here. So kernels means here, there are the files here, right? There are the files here, right? Kernel files means here. So SAP exe, then SAP exedb. These are the two main files here. SAP exe, SAP exedb. One is the DB independent. Second one is the DB dependent here, right? SAP exe is common, but SAP exedb is like a independent of the database. Sorry, depend upon the database here. Then extract the command. So then, so take the backup of the, take the backup of, take the backup of the existing kernel folders files, existing kernel files. So that we know existing kernel files means any one of the sysexe, we can take the kernel directory backup, we can take it out here, right? So then the seventh step, stop SAP system, stop SAP system, right? Then eighth one, so copy or replace new kernel files onto new kernel files onto existing exe directory, existing kernel directory. So where also you have whatever the, as per the step number 1, step number 5, you have extracted all the files, right? So those new files we need to copy those files onto existing existing kernel. So directory here, existing kernel directory. This is a crucial step here. Copy and replace. Copy and replace the existing kernel directory here. Then verify the version. Verify the version. So how to verify it? To check the kernel, this one, right? So displace work. Then execute SAP root.sh script to for ICM BND purpose. Execute this one for ICM BND. So this is only for the Linux systems. You have to execute this one. This step is for only Linux. So Windows system, this is not required. Then start SAP, start SAP system. Then do the health checks here. Do the health checks here. Do the health checks. This is what we have to do that one here. This is what we have to perform it here, right? So this is the steps you need to perform it here. Okay. So now first check the current kernel version that we know how to check it out here, right? Then align the target kernel version here, right? In the marketplace, if you go to if you go to the software download center here, right, in the software download center, here go to the support pack and patches by alphabetical order. K for kernel, just you can go for the K for kernel. Where is the K? Yeah, you can go for the K for kernel. So 64-bit version. What is the current kernel version you have? So in the systems current kernel version 793.101, 793.101 here. So here 793 is the latest here, right? So 101. So then now we have the, so what is the kernel patch level we have? So 200 we have, 200 we have here, right? Then we can update to the 200 here. So here you need to choose the operating systems, right? One is the DB independent file. So then you can download the SAP exe. Then you can also download the SAP exedb database independent. Suppose like this is the HANA database. Then you can download the SAP exedb. These two files are important here, right? These two files are getting downloaded here. SAP exe, SAP exedb files are getting downloaded here. So if you see here, every kernel here, there is a kernel release note here. There is a kernel release note here. If you go to the patch level of the content info, you will get the release note. Means it will provide the instructions. This kernel is only applied for the this OS version, and this is the SAP libraries like this here. You can see here 793 patch level 200. This is only applicable for the your SAP version 755, 756. So which means SAP version means your example, you need to check the your basis version here. Here you need to check the your basis version here. If you go to the component information, the product details here. Yeah. So this is the basis version. You need to check it out here. 757, 757, 757. So this one you need to check it out here. 757. Right? So 757, it is there. So this is applicable here. Suppose if you are going to the our ECC systems, our 7.754, 750, yeah, NetWeaver systems means this is not applicable. Why? Because there is no 750 here. So if you do, even though if you do this one, your system will be down. System will not be started status here. Right? So this way we need to check the whether your kernel is applicable for your SAP system or not. Based upon this table, you can, so we can check it out here. And also it will provide the what are the issues are fixed here. It will provide the, so what are the issues are fixed here in the 200 kernel version. There are the issues. What are the issues SAP is fixed? It will provide the all the information and everything here. It will provide the all the information. So you downloaded the two kernel files here. Then Using the WinSAP, we can move those files to the target level here. Using the WinSAP, we can move these files to the yeah, these are the files. So using the this is the file transfer tool with SAP. We can transfer the files from one to another here. So you got the files here. It is moved to the this folder here. Okay. It's done. Okay. So then if you go to the cd/media OS level, so you have the files are available here. So I can create a one folder kernel 790. What is that? 793, 793. So just I'm just creating the one folder here. chmod -r permission I'm giving here. Move these two files to the here using the move command. So now we need to do the extraction of the this files here, right? So here using the SAP car command, I'm going to extract the files here. So SAP car -xvf and the file name here. Then this will be extracted here. Then see the file is getting extracted. All the files are getting extracted here. The next one SAP exe db. SAP exe db also I am just doing the extraction here. Okay. So then the both are extracted here. So we need to extract the first SAP exe, then next SAP exe db. We have to extract it here, right? SAP exe, SAP exe db, both we have to extract it here. But first SAP exe, SAP exe db. We have downloaded, reviewed the release note, aligned the target kernel version, extracted, and take the backup of the existing kernel directory. So existing kernel directory taking the backup means then if you go to the cd exe here, so then you can take the backup of the SAP, this Linux folder, you can take the backup here, right? This file. So this file you can take the backup, which means cp-r and take the another backup. With that, we can just create the uh, folder here. This will create the cp-r. I wonder. Okay. So using this copy command, it's in the line Windows level, it's simple. So copy and paste, right? It will create the different folder here. So I have taken the backup also here. In case of why? Because kernel upgrade, we can easy refund, we can return it here, right? Means we can roll back. In case of any issues with the target, we can roll back here. So now I have copied, I have taken the backup as well here. This is the place. So USR SAP SAD or SAP MMT. So this is the place where we need to. So USR SAP SAD or slash SAP MMT, both are mount points only here. So here you can update it here in the global directory. Normally kernel upgrade we have to perform it in the sysexe. This is the mount point of the SAP MMT exe here. So you can update to the here, right? Then automatically the kernels will be distributed to the here as well here. So now what you can do here, you need to do the stop command. You need to stop the SAP system here, right? Without SAP stopping, you cannot do the kernel upgrade here. So now you can use the SAP control -nr So 05 hyphen function, right? So stop system. 05 is the instance number of the application server here, right? So that you can use it here. So you stopped the SAP system as well here, right? So otherwise you can just check the process list also here, right? So still SAP is up. It's not down. It's SAP is up only. So it will take to stop it, or you can check the get process list. So it stopped status. Application server is shut down. So SAP is shut down here. So you can check are there any other process also available in the system, right? Yes. It's like this process also available here. Done. Right? So everything you stopped. Only database, no need to stop it. Only SAP application, you need to stop it here. Okay, that is done. So this is the target folder here. Here you need to copy the SAP MMT SAD exe, right? Or USR SAP SAD exe. So here you placed the new kernel files under the here. So kernel underscore 793. This is the file. This is the place where you copied the all the kernels here, right? So now what you are going to do, you are going to replace the means using the hyphen cp hyphen rf. So star means all the files, whatever their files in the here. R means recursive, F means force, and in this directory you are going to copy it here. Recursive force here, right? Then it's done. It's copied. Linux, right? It's a very quickly it get copied the files and everything. So now previously we have the different version. Now if you execute the displace work, now you see that's 200 patch level got released. It updated, right? 793 previously it's 101, now 200. Now it's a 200 patch level got updated here. 200 patch level it got updated. So now just start the SAP system here. Just start the SAP system here. So hyphen function, then start system here. So no, one step we missed it out here. What is the step we missed here? So SAP root.sh script, right? As I mentioned here, so that step before you starting the SAP, verify the version directly or starting. Then this you have to execute it, SAP root.sh script, which you have to execute it, right? So then what you have to do, just to go to the exe folder, SAP root.sh, then SID, you need to execute it here. So it will set the permissions and group IDs, everything here. So this is very important. Otherwise, sometimes SAP systems, it won't start it here. So this is to execute to check the group IDs, UIDs and everything. This we have to execute it in the systems here. This we have to execute it here. That is the main important thing here to correctly set the permissions. UID means user IDs, group IDs, permissions, and everything. This we have to execute it here. SAP root.sh script here. Okay, that is the one important thing here. So then once you done it, then start the SAP system using using the commands here, or you can also use in case of your system is configured in the uh, CPMMC, then you can start the system as well here, right? So hyphen function, then start system here. Then ASCS you started. Then so application server you are starting here. That is done. So in case of everything is correct, it will start it. Otherwise, you may face the issues. SAP will not be started status here. Now it is started. So now you can just log in.
Ravindra, what is the difference between NR05 and 04?
What is the difference between?
You were mentioned right, and NR05 and 04.
05 is the ASCS instance number. 04 is the application server instance number.
Okay.
That is the instance numbers. Okay. So here you need to now SAP is started and do the health checks here. So whether everything is running correctly or not. So these things you need to check it out here, right? So just check the version information here. So here also the 200 is reflecting this is fine. So then, so what is next? So then you can just check the are there any dumps are generating in the system or not, that you can check it out. Dumps. So ST22, you can check, verify the dumps. Why? Because sometimes what happens after the kernel upgrade, so there are a lot of dump program error will be generated. So that you need to check it out here. That part you have to check it out. Then system logs, normal general health checks you need to perform it in the systems here, right? So downtime means when we stopped the system, then again when we started, that is called the downtime here, right? There are the two runtime errors, call function, no destination. I think it's not related to the kernel. It's a different, the backend does not take a different error here, right? So this is a different error here. Call function destination does not exist. It is different here, right? So it's not related to the our issue. That is fine. So this is the way, and we need to check the SM21. So check the logs. So here anything. So anything got updated, anything got changed. So you can it will check the any error messages or anything here. We can check it out here, all the information. So ST22 dumps. And so like this, so check the other the users are logging into the system or not. So you can check it out here. Here the 12 users log in with the 12 backend sections. That is fine here, right? So like this, we need to check the versions here. So this is the way to perform the kernel upgrade in the systems. Okay, so Linux systems you don't require, sorry, Windows systems you don't require this step. So remaining steps are common for either kernel patch version, kernel release upgrade, so or anything. The common steps we have to follow it here. Right? So common steps we have to follow. Kernel release upgrade means this is the release actually. Okay, this is the release version. Only patch level, every SAP system, there is a release version and the patch levels also in place here. So release means, so 793, this is the release. Patch level means the 200, the 200 is the patch level here, right? 200 are the patch levels here, right? So this is the, so release patch level version here. Then this is the, so kernel version here. That is the, so patch level, kernel patch level and release. If you update this 200 to 300, that is the kernel patch update. So if you update this one, kernel release upgrade, but both the procedures are same. Same procedures are same to update it here. Okay, that is the common procedures which we have to update it here. Right? OS level also you can verify if you execute the displace work, it will provide the kernel information. So dpmon command is like a check the, so dpmon and the profile name, work process details. So dpmon command, it will tell you the work process details at operating system level here, right? So M for menu, L for length. So here we can check the SM same as like SM50 transaction code here, work process status and all the information here. Okay, so that is the SM dpmon command here. So R3 trans -d, this is for the check the connectivity between the SAP application and database. R3 trans -d. They are the some commands at operating system level which you have to execute with the SAD ADM user. Okay, so R3 trans -d, this one. Okay, so this is the kernel upgrade activity. Okay,
So one
so that
down.
is the one. Yes.
Sir, in like while updating, you have switched to ADM user. Sir, we can perform that in root user.
So root user also you can copy it. You can use the root user to copy the files from one place to another place. But
Mhm.
you need to make sure you need to execute this SAP root.sh script final. Otherwise, all the files will be when you're copying with the root user owner, then it will create the problem when you're starting the SAP system. So better to do with the SID ADM. Root user also you can do that one.
So like we should be performing in like development quality in different systems, is it?
Right. So it's order wise
Order
we
wise.
have to perform.